Wells faces 401k probe by Gretchen, Morgenson, and Emily Glazer. Wall Street Journal, Friday, April 27, 2018. The Labor Department is examining whether Wells Fargo and Company has been pushing participants in low-cost corporate 401k plans to roll their holdings into more expensive individual retirement accounts at the bank, according to a person familiar with the inquiry. Labor Department investigators are also interested in whether Wells Fargo Retirement Plan Services unit pressed account holders to buy in-house funds, generating more revenue for the bank, the person said. A new federal investigation is unwelcome news for Wells Fargo, which has been dealing with an array of regulatory issues over the past 2 years. Just last week, it agreed to pay a $1 billion fine over claims of misconduct in its auto and mortgage lending businesses. An issue in the Labor Department's investigation is how Wells Fargo handles its clients' retirement savings. Under the Employee Retirement Income Securities Act, entities that serve their accounts are supposed to put their clients' interest ahead of their own. Wells Fargo managers have pressed employees in the bank's retirement division to recommend that clients open more expensive individual retirement accounts when they retire or leave their jobs, according to another person familiar with the bank's operation. The bank gives employees asset retention goals intended to keep these retirement accounts in-house, this person said, adding that Wells Fargo workers often generated higher fees for the bank by putting clients into mutual fund shares that carried a front-end load or fee. A Labor Department spokesman didn't respond to a request for comment. Its Employee Benefit Security Administration enforces the ERISA law with the Internal Revenue Service and Pension Benefit Guaranty Corporation. There are two types of penalties for ERISA violations. Civil penalties may include fines or a requirement that an entity change its procedures or make a payment to a plan beneficiary. Criminal penalties may involve fines as well as imprisonment. In a statement, Wells Fargo said the company is, quote, committed to thorough reviews of wealth and investment management, unquote, adding, quote, we are making significant progress in our work to identify and fix any issues, make things right, and build a stronger, better company, unquote. In its annual financial report filed last month, Wells Fargo referred briefly to new federal inquiries involving practices in its 401k plan rollover business. The bank said its board is reviewing certain activities to assess, quote, whether there have been inappropriate referrals or recommendations, including with respect to rollovers for 401k plan participants, certain alternative investments, or referrals of brokerage customers to the company's investment and fiduciary services business, unquote. The review is at a preliminary stage. The Justice Department and the Securities and Exchange Commission are also examining the bank's retirement plan practices alongside a broader sales practices probe, people familiar with the matter said. A whistleblower has come forward to speak with regulators about Wells Fargo's IRA rollover activities, according to the person familiar with the inquiry, alleging that the bank breached its fiduciary duties to clients. Wells Fargo's Institutional Retirement and Trust Division offers record-keeping, trustee, and custody services to corporations providing 401k plans to their employees. Among the companies whose 401k plans are served by Wells Fargo are Cardinal Health, Caloris Inc., a shoe manufacturer, and Lowe's Corporations. Regulatory filings show. Wells Fargo's advisors make recommendations for clients on a variety of platforms with investment options. One of those Wells Fargo platforms for managed mutual fund asset allocation include the bank's proprietary products and other offerings. In recent months, Wells Fargo lowered the fees for some of its 401k plan products, current employees said. Wells Fargo isn't alone in working to hang on to customer assets and 401k plans. Other banks, including Morgan Stanley, have programs aimed at rolling over existing 401k plans into IRAs using proprietary products or third-party offerings that have revenue-sharing agreements that generate fees to the firm. Bank of America Corp.'s Merrill Lynch used to have a similar program but changed it in June of 2017 in anticipation of new Labor Department rules governing fiduciary duty.